welcome back. This week we are in North County Down in the charming Clandyboy Lodge Hotel, the most environmentally friendly hotel in Ireland. But we're heading straight to the kitchen.
So Jenny, we're on to the fish pie.
We are, yep.
So-
Plenty of lovely fish. Gosh, it doesn't get any fresher than that. And I'll start off with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter, and I'm going to just cook up a few spring onions. Now listen, you see the shells, Barry, we have over there? Those were the shells from all the prawns.
And those presumably are for the stock, right?
They're great. I mean, a bit of lemon juice, a bit of parsley, let it all simmer away, and there we go. So now we've got a couple of pounds of fish here, so we're going to make a really nice big one. Amazing thing about fish is that I think the less you do with it, the better. Just poach it so gently and just almost just turn it over once. It doesn't even need to be stirred. And in fact, fish altogether needs about 3-4 minutes in the pan. A few more spring onions, a few little bits of leeks over the top. And then I've got some stock here, just from straining the liquid off the prawn shells and the lemon. A little bit of parsley, because I think fish has enough sort of natural sea salt without putting any more into it. There we go. Tell me the secret of your champ. 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 Tell me about your champ.
I use lots of butter. Bad for the old ticker, but I use loads of butter. Marco used to use half butter, half potato. Now that's sort of like a heart attack on the plate, but this is not quite as bad.
Not as bad.
And plenty of salt, and just whip it up.
And you were beating away at it.
Beating away at it there, fairly passionate. One of my opponents beat the hell out of him.
Right, okay, looks good. Well, let's get this one over. Wee bit of over the top. This is where you can either add milk to it and you can blend it with a bit of corn flour. You can put yogurt over the top of it, but turn the temperature down and just let it stabilise.
Oh, why do you have to turn the temperature down?
Because if you bubble it very, very hot, yogurt has the habit of sort of separating out slightly.
So good.
In with those,
a few more prawns.
Few garden peas over the top, and then we're ready for the dish. And now your champ over the top of it.
Okay.
But you know what's lovely, Barry? I love that. Let me put a wee bit over, if you like. Pesto.
Pesto.
Oh, love pesto in a fish pie.
I love pesto, but I've never tried it putting in a fish pie.
Put a little bit of pesto in the fish pie, just underneath the champ. Not too much. Just tiny little bit in there. Isn't that good? That'll make it even
Giving away all your secrets.
Yeah,
don't be doing that.
Right. They'll eat it this afternoon. And then we put a bit of lemon and a bit of parsley over the top of it when we
smell of that.
Doesn't that smell fabulous?
Wow.
Just a little bit. I think too much of it discolours the whole thing. I think that looks good. Whether we love birds in the pot, like that one. Okay.
Not
Barry
too
and
bad.
Jenny's fish pie. Portavogie style?
Portavogie style.
Okay.
There you are.
350, gas mark 4-5, about 15 minutes. Just long to let enough the potatoes sort of go nice and crispy on top.
Great.
Good. Well, that's the lamb we got from Dale.
Yeah.
Lovely. We were going to use these sort of nice chunky lamb chops. So we're going to cook it with all those seasonal foods, the parsnips, pears, which are unusual.
So what do the pears do? Give it like a...
Just a lovely, let the marriage of sort of the lamb and the pears and all those autumny flavours all come out together. So, a wee bit of oil in the pan, Barry.
Done that?
Yep, I'll put a wee bit of butter because I think that's...
A bit of butter as well.
Yeah, I think butter gives it a nice sort of goldeny sort of flavour when we're cooking them. We'll pop those in. And here's a great wee tip. Tiny little bit of brown sugar just over the top to sort of...
What's the idea of the brown sugar?
The brown sugar just gives us the most gorgeous coating. It's almost as if you were barbecuing these out in the outbacks of Australia somewhere and just give it a nice sort of hearty feel there.
Okay.
In with a few onions, just red onion, just sort of chopped up into chunks, nice and hearty. Nothing too complicated with this one. Parsnips, just a couple of those, peeled, cut up into big chunks, so they're going in as well.
Now.
Yep, you pop those in. About 4 or 5 pears. We're going to keep those to the end. We're not going to put those in just yet.
Well, why do you keep them to the end as a matter
Because they're going to be softer. And if you put them in now, they're really going to break down. Yes. Now, a little bit of flavour. Rosemary. Just a wee sprinkle of salt. And I'm using sea salt, low in the potassium, and a little bit of black pepper. Then the stock. And this is just, you can use a vegetable stock, you can use a lamb stock.
How much?
About just until they're covered. I think that's ready for the oven now, about 200 degrees centigrade, gas mark 6, about 15-20 minutes. Okay. And then we'll bring it back out and we'll just put in the pears because they're only going to need about another 5 minutes. And we're going to thicken it up with a wee bit of either apple jelly or red currant jelly and a handful of herbs over the top. And we're ready to serve.
So, what are we doing now?
Chopping up the rest of the lamb, I think. This is the lamb pieces that he gave us. Okay. Good sort of couple of pounds of lamb pieces. Again, another good sort of cheap cut, which I think is great. We're going to make a lamb stew.
Right.
Very unusual lamb stew, not lamb with parsnips and carrots, but lamb with scented oranges, cinnamon onions, Most unusual, and I think this is where if you take a good Northern Ireland product and put it with these most unusual flavours, I think it works a treat. So,
great.
A little bit of flour, and if you give that a wee...
A little bit more.
Yeah, if you give that a toss round. A little bit of butter, which I love, and a wee bit of olive oil again. And I think whenever you sort of put a wee bit in and cook it and keep it going, then it gets nice and crispy. And I'm going to cook some onions while you do that. Do you know what I'm putting with the onions, Barry? Cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon. I love cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
It's fantastic.
But not too much of it. I think in something like this, you know the way you make an apple pie and you have it, the cinnamon's really predominant in it. This one, it's only just a tiny little hint, because in this dish we're going to have the cinnamon onions, we're going to have orange, we're going to have pistachio nuts, and a little bit of cardamom, so there's loads of things all going on there.
Okay.
So I'll cook these ones
You do that, I'll do this.
And there you go. And I think too, you want to get the onions sort of nice and crispy. And again, this is a stew, but it's a short sort of cooking time stew. Yeah. I'm just going to put the orange peel into the same pot as the onions, and just a sprinkling of sugar. That's just about ready, Barry. I'm going to lift those off for a second, because I don't want to overcook those. Right, I think we can add the carrots to yours next. A couple of carrots, doesn't matter. I've just chopped them up into little batten strips.
And you're holding the orange.
Yep, let those get coated. Going to put a few pea lentils into it, because that makes it a nicer hearty dish. Do you use lentils and pulses?
I do use them for pulses, and what does this do for the dish?
It just gives it, I think, a nice sort of heartiness. Right, in with the onions over the top.
It looks fantastic. It smells brilliant.
A little bit of orange juice.
A little bit of orange juice.
Yep, freshly squeezed orange juice, a couple of oranges. A little bit of pistachio nut. And there's one spice that I'm going to add to this, Barry, that's just amazing. And it's this one. It's cardamom. It looks like, I think, the little barley ams that you find in the fields. And those are the wee seeds.
So I just sprinkle this over?
Yep, a little bit of that in. I'll get the stock. Just enough to sort of make sure that it's not going to stick. And I think that's about it, Barry. The only other things that we want to put into this are a little bit of orange, just whenever it's sort of cooked away for about 20-25 minutes.
Not yet.
A little bit of pistachio nut, a little bit of orange peel over the top, and then we'll be ready to serve it.
Dessert time, Jenny?
Yeah, and I reckon with all that fabulous ice cream, that amazing Clandy-Boy yoghurt, all those berries and blackberries and strawberries and raspberries that there are, I think we'll be spoilt for choice.
Good. So let's start.
Granola first of all, porridge oats. That's the basis of it. But then what's lovely about this recipe is you can put whatever you want into it to make
your own little personal touch.
Exactly.
So what are we using here?
This is the 5-seed mix. This is the one with the flax seed, the sunflower seeds, the pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, fabulous. And you also get them with goji berries in them, which come from the sort of northern China, and they're real buzz foods for you. So on the go,
put it in here.
All in there, and then just give it a good mix round. And then I'm going to make just a nice little coating to go over the top of that with a little bit of sunflower oil, a little bit of honey, a little bit of vanilla extract, and you just warm these up slightly.
Yeah.
Then you just, look,
pour it all over.
Pour that all over the top of that. And then if you give that a good mix round with a fork, it goes into the oven just to let all those lovely flavours mix in with the oats and the oatmeal, just for about 20 to 25 minutes. Bring it out, let it cool down, and then you can put it into your screw top jars.
Oh, yeah.
You can use it for your breakfast over the top of all sorts of things.
Indeed.
So I'm going to get you to put that one in the oven.
Okay.
And we're going to make a lovely Cranahan, which is a sort of Scottish idea, but we're going to use it with our good old Irish yogurt to mix it together. I'm going to take a mixture of raspberries and blackberries. And the idea behind this one is you put a little bit of whiskey into it, but I'm going to put a wee drop of Irish mist in it. A little bit of sugar over the top of this. Just lightly mix it around, and you only just sort of bruise the fruit very, very gently, like that, not too much. And then into the yogurt, and just sort of mix it round nice and lightly, and then we'll spoon this over the top. Here we've got this lovely vanilla bean ice cream. Spoon it over the top, let it all run down, and then you can even take sort of more of the nice yogurt and spoon it over the top as well. And then we just decorate this with the little fruits. I'll let you do that one.
Yeah.
Raspberries and blackberries, and then we'll take some of the granola, and I love those nice crunchy bits, and just scatter this over the top, and then a few little bits of mint round the outside just to finish it off. So that's vanilla bean ice cream, Clandy-Boy yogurt, Irish mist, summer berries, and if you have a little bit of sort of the raspberries left over, you can puree them and spoon a wee bit over the top. Well, we've had another real heartwarming experience, this time in the Clandyboy area with that fabulous sea coast and all its great food.
It's been an inspiring day, topped off by these magnificently talented young people entertaining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have. Join us next time. Give them a big cheer, folks.
Yeah!